Hello, my name is Mary Louise Moore. I was born in Haynesville, Louisiana, Claiborne Parish, September 5th, 1944. I am the 11th of 14 children. I grew up in a place called Froggy Bottom in Cullen, Louisiana, that is bordered by Arkansas, Mississippi, and Texas. They call it the Arklatex. Froggy Bottom, Cullen, C-U-L-L-E-N, 40 miles north of Shreveport, is a little town, and the plantation where I grew up on, where a cotton sack was put on my back when I was 5 years old. We moved from Haynesville to Sorepta, or outside of Cullen, on a plantation. The owner of the plantation was Paul Slack. We lived on the plantation where, as far as the eye could see, left or right, it was a cotton plantation. A cotton sack was put on my back when I was 5 years old. And by the time I was 15 or 16, not like 14, we moved off of Paul Slack's place, and in northern Louisiana, at the top of the Louisiana Butte, 6 or 7 miles from Stamps, Arkansas, where Maya Angelou grew up, where her grandmother raised her in Stamps. I know Stamps, Arkansas, and that culture, and what inspired Dr. King to say that this must change, because I know terror for real. As a child growing up on that plantation, my soul got damaged by racism and the hatred. My little mind could not make the connection with that cross, because I have literally witnessed the Ku Klux Klan riding down the roads with burning crosses up the road at Aunt Earlene's house, watching my mother and my father and the grown-ups and the adults around me and that little dreamer child, in their presence, watch them change. Because my mother was a praying woman, and in that house, listen, those mothers, all they had to do was give you a look. You know that. In the church, down at the crossroads, all them praying mothers, when they look at you, you know you straighten up. And to see that same mother, to see that same woman when we go downtown, and in the presence of white people, and watch her demeanor change, and she, yes, sir, no, sir, no, sir, and my little mind, my little brain, I was an angry child. I had wanted nothing to do with God, with that cross, and with God. I was mad at God. And if my mother, I never told my mother, she never knew that I must have been 7 or 8 years old. No, I like 5 or 6. Because we went to church. That was the only safe place to go down in Froggy Bottom, in that part of the country, that part of the world. No, in the deep, segregated South, where you had zero rights. You didn't bail yourself out of jail. The kangaroo courts, if the slave master didn't come and vouch for you, you went straight to prison. I witnessed my baby brother when he was 11 years old, and we were downtown. And we go to town every Saturday. That's what we do. We go to town. And my older sister had come back from LA and Los Angeles, and that's a big deal when your siblings come back from out in L.A. and she was a gospel singer, and she was singing with James Cleveland, and she was the star. And when she comes in town, the star is in town, and we're downtown, and she had forgotten how you're supposed to conduct yourself when in the Deep South, because you don't look a white person in the face and talk to them like I'm talking to you right now. Southern people to this day, you might call it, are passive, because you don't look at people, you don't look at a white person in the face and talk to them like I'm talking to you. A person from the Deep South will say, I'm telling you, I'm just going to make a profound statement, and then they look back at you. They'll say what they have to say, looking at the ground, and then look at you. And that is learned behavior. That is how we were trained, because you did not look a white person in the face and talk to them like I'm talking to you. And my baby brother, with us standing downtown, and my older sister, Bobby, who turned 86 on the 3rd of July this year. And people coming by, oh, she's in town, the big deal, and she's just talking and saying hello. And we're standing on the sidewalk, and I look and see this white man and his wife coming towards us. And they're looking like, you're going to get out of the way, right? Glaring. And I know what I'm supposed to do. You're supposed to step off the sidewalk. And they're getting closer, and they're looking, and my baby brother, who was 11, by the way, he was the first to graduate from college. He went to Southern University. My brother, James Brown, we call him Pop Brown. And I stepped out of the way, and he didn't. And the white man turned around and said, boy, next time you see me, you better get out of the way. You better step out of the way. He had my brother to use the F word. He said, F you. Oh, my God. The terror. I said, oh, my God. He turned like a ghost. He went into the West Brothers store. We downtown Spring Hill to the West Brothers store. He goes in. And I said, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. He's pointing out to my brother to say that what he had insulted his wife and himself, had used that word, had done that. And in less than 5 minutes, which was up the street, Val Newbay, the sheriff, Val Newbay and Sheriff O'Neill, the two sheriffs in their town, showed up. Their car pulled up there. They go inside. And they're pointing out to my brother. And I said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And that was along the time when Emmett Till was killed, by the way, when all the killings, and this is my baby brother. And I said, oh my God. And they come outside and take my brother inside of the West Brothers store, downtown Spring Hill, Louisiana. And I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm telling Bobby, you know, and she's kind of throwing it off because she's from LA and she forgot how you're supposed to live down. How you're supposed to conduct yourself. And my mama was somewhere down the street, or whatever, down the road. And they take my brother inside. And when they bring him back outside, he had a chain around his neck, on both of his wrists, and on both of his ankles, and they took my 11-year-old brother away. They arrested him. I'm running downtown. I go to get my mama, Lord have mercy, and I find her, and I tell her, because the one thing that I said to him before, when they were pointing at him, I told him, you better hit the railroad track to run. And in our discussion about that now, he said, probably it's a good thing that he did not run, because they would have found him and probably killed him. So thank God he did not run. And so I find my mother, and she's this look on her face of, Lord have mercy, of help, of desperation, of what to do. And I tell her they take him away, and so of course you go to the white purchase or somebody that's in power, and she went to this furniture store that was right a few doors down, because my brother was working at this furniture store, cleaning it up, you know, with clean up and sweep out, whatever, for the white men. Probably got $1.50 a week, whatever. And Mama said she got to go find somebody to help save him. And she went to the man that he worked for. And I'm with my mother. And the office is upstairs. And we go upstairs, and my mother goes in, and she's wringing her hands. And she don't, you know, she said, Mr. John, or whatever his name was, said, I need your help, sir. I need your help. And he said, well, Sarah, said, you know, so my brother, Pop James, your son, he worked for you. He's a good worker, right? He said, so I need your help about him, sir. And he said, well, what, you know, what's going on, Sarah? Yeah, he's a good worker. He's a good boy. What's going on? And she said, well, they took him. He's at the jail. He was arrested. And he said, oh, really? So we're sitting there, standing there with my mother wringing her hands, and he calls over to the sheriff's office, which is 2 blocks up. And he said, hey, Vol, you know, I hear you got one of them Brown boys. Because the Browns were known. We're a big family, and we're the major money makers in the cotton industry down there. So it's one of them Browns. So we got that boy, one of them Brown boys. What's going on? So he's on the other, I'm hearing him. He go, yeah, uh-huh. And he slams the phone down. He turns around and looks my mother in the face. And he said, if he'd have insulted my wife, I would have killed the SOB to my mama. And we walked out, and it was almost 2 weeks. We didn't know where he was. They moved him to the county jail, somewhere out of Spring Hill, to the county. We didn't know where he was. And my mother went to Paul Slack, because we had moved off of Paul Slack's plantation. And he wasn't happy about that, because it was a lot of us, and it was only 3 or 4 of us left to pick cotton, because we were his money makers. And we moved in the country because my mother, off the plantation a little closer to town, because my mother wanted to move closer to where we could go to school, catch the bus and ride to school. But Paul Slack was not happy about that, of course. And now my mother's got to go back to him to ask for his help to save my brother's life, because we didn't know where he was. And he agreed to help her. He pulled his strings, because the company, Butcher and Slack in northern Louisiana, is a major company, insurance company and corporation, should I say. And in Cullen is the International Paper Company. That was the world's largest international paper company. They're still there, but it was thriving at that time, where you pick the cotton and they turn the cotton where the pulpwood trees, where they actually get the pulpwood and turn it into paper. So it's a paper mill. That's what we call it, the paper mill, in the International Paper Company. And Butcher and Slack was a major industry in the cotton.
The program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.